Today I fucked up by jacking off to my mom. Throwaway for obvious reasons. Holy fuck, I can't believe I'm writing this. To give you some context, my mom used to be an adult actress. She has been pretty open about it in the past, and my family doesn't really judge her for it. She stopped about 5 years ago after she got pregnant with my sister and hasn't looked back. Today I was doing the 5-knuckle shuffle to one of those compilations. I don't want to be judged, so I won't say any more. You can probably see where this is going. Just as I was about to bust a nut, it cut to an old video of my mom. I could definitely tell it was her because she looked directly at the camera for a second, but the machine was already in motion. I tried everything I could, but it was too late. Later on I went downstairs to watch TV, and I couldn't even look at my mom. This is definitely gonna be an awkward few months. One thing's for sure, from now on I think I'll just use my imagination. Too long didn't read, I accidentally ejaculated to an old clip of my mom when she used to do porn. Now I can't even look at her. This is a hell of an answer to. Why did you start r/nofap? Compilation videos are dangerous. I'm honestly surprised that you didn't calculate the risk. I've always known it was a possibility, just thought it was too small of a chance. And this is how I met your mother. Now she has to masturbate to a video of you having sex to being even. See, now that's the issue. What if all you can imagine is your mom? This is my worst fear. As of now, I'm still too scared to try anything, but I really hope I don't have that problem. Today I fucked up by thinking I needed poison ivy to masturbate. Hi all. Made myself a Reddit account just so I could share this story with you all. This happened back when I was in 5th grade, but remains a great story to this day. My father was a general contractor, and I would occasionally tag along and help him work by basically doing all the jobs that he didn't want to do. One such job was to remove a large amount of poison ivy from a fence at a client's house. He gave me gloves and other such protective equipment and firmly instructed me not to get any of the poison ivy on my skin. Shocker, I got the poison ivy on my skin. A lot of it. For weeks I was covered in poison ivy, head to toe, and constantly scratching. The fun part is that head to toe included my 5th grade dick and balls. I eventually found out that itching down there felt good. Really good. Much better than itching anywhere else on my body. One day, after several minutes of itching in the bathroom of my tiny little whiner, I started to feel exceptionally good, and eventually some sticky goo came out. It's important to note that at this point, I had not yet had sex ed, nor had my parents really instructed me on anything in that realm. So I thoroughly indulged for weeks of this newfound pleasure. Eventually, this is where it gets good, my poison ivy went away. My smart little 5th grade mind figured that I couldn't feel good on my trouser snake like that without the poison ivy. Lucky for me, my family lived deep in the woods. Desperate to get that feeling back, I wandered out in the woods and found myself some poison ivy. I snuck it back in the house and locked myself in the bathroom. I didn't know what I was doing, but somehow knew to be ashamed, and proceeded to rub it all over my family jewels. When I had gotten it before, it wasn't through direct contact, so after a couple of days, my sensitive skin swelled to the point of blisters. Blisters? On my 5th grade schlong. It cracked and bled so much that I actually didn't even want to touch it, regardless of how good it felt. Agony for weeks, and I didn't even have the opportunity to enjoy it. A couple of months later, I was reading my Bible. My parents were missionaries and this was a common occurrence, not because of my shame for what I had done, and I came across a passage that said something along the lines of "then so-and-so spilled his semen." I didn't know what semen was, much less what spilling it meant, so I asked my dad and he explained. That's when it clicked on what I had done. Too long didn't read, I intentionally gave myself an allergic reaction to poison ivy in order to masturbate. Op accidentally invented a new fetish. Could say he scratched an itch. You mean you don't need poison ivy? Impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete. Taking the term nature lover to new heights. That's so funny. Actually, many people discover masturbating by accident. At some point many just notice it feels good to touch yourself before anybody explains what sex or masturbation is. Hope you didn't have a lot of pain and that your wanks since then are poison ivy free. Oh yeah. I totally remember getting erections thinking about my classmates cleaning themselves, and then washing me. I discovered masturbation later, but I used to do it in such a weird way. Too long didn't read. You inadvertently learned what masturbation is by reading the Bible with your family. Today I fucked up by hugging my friend's sister. I feel so embarrassed even typing about this even though this happened like an hour ago. I still can't believe I can be this stupid. Me and my friend had decided that we would meet at a certain point so that we could go have lunch to a place which was close to that point. He told me that even his sister would come along with him. And I was fine with it. Note, the problem was that I couldn't seem to remember how she looks because I rarely see her as she stays away from the family. So back to the present, after some time I hear someone say hi and I turn back to see who it was. It was my friend's sister who was walking towards me with her arms outstretched. I commit to the hug because if I didn't it would get awkward. So I hug her and it seemed she really wasn't into it. So I step back from her and check what's wrong. Now I realize I did two mistakes. 1. She wasn't my friend's sister. Because my friend was exactly behind her and with him was a girl. And she was already laughing about it. 2. She actually wanted to hug a person who was behind me, and that's why she extended her arms. After that they were kinda shocked. I couldn't really tell what their emotions were because I just walked away. After that embarrassment I hugged my friend and his sister. And they mocked me until our lunch got over. Too long didn't read, basically hugged someone else thinking it was my friend's sister. Edit, after seeing the reaction maybe this was not as embarrassing as I thought it would be. Op took the waving back to that guy across the street onto a whole new level. Introverts be afraid, it could happen to you? Edit, my first goal by fueling introvert nightmares, yay. This is like waving at someone who you think is waving at you but isn't, but holy shit so much worse. I was expecting this to end with you getting an erection and being super embarrassed. This is even better lol. That is fucking priceless. Good shit. Haha, wow, I get really bad second-hand anxiety from reading this. To be fair, though, maybe the person with outstretched hands didn't react that well either. If you were closer to them than their intended target, and in the line between them, they should have realized the potential confusion, and taken a different approach. Maybe they could have dodged away when they saw you reciprocating, too. Yeah, she should have waited until she passed you to offer a hug. That was entrapment.